Happy holidays! My name is Liz and you're watching For Booking Out Loud. So as you can see, I'm a little bit festive, even though the shirt is incredibly large. I enjoy it. But I'm more festive today because I've been tagged in the Christmas Carol book tag. And I was tagged by John from Hey All Listen Up. Love his channel. He's a really great booktuber and I would highly suggest checking him out. And the original person to do this tag is Lauren Wade. And of course, I will link both those channels and both their tag videos down below. There's 9 questions associated with this tag, so let's go into it. Question 1 is The Ghosts of Christmas Past, a book that is a childhood favorite. Now, I did a video going over a lot of the books that kind of made me who I am as a reader today in the summer. And this is actually a book that is from that video. It's called Fablehaven by Brandon Mull. And I started reading this when I was in middle school, I think. And it is still going strong. You have this series and then they have like a Dragon Watch series. I haven't really gone into that one, but I finished all 5 books in the series and it's so magical, whimsical, and it really introduced me to my love of fantasy when I was younger. And honestly, it's just a really good middle grade book. I highly suggest it if you have not read it yet. And honestly, it warms my heart. I have so many nostalgic feelings when I see this book cover and I see it, and it's just beautiful. It is a beautiful thing. Now, question number 2 is a recent book. Question number 2 is A Ghost of Christmas Present. So a recent book that you think will become one of your favorites. And actually, last week I just finished Station 11 by Emily St. John Mendel. Emily St. John Mendel. And it was absolutely phenomenal. I'm a sucker for apocalyptic books, point blank. And I've kind of been on this apocalyptic binge ever since I finished The Stand earlier this month. And this book was everything I needed and wanted it to be. It goes from present to past to a couple of people that are experiencing different types of apocalyptic living, but it really focuses on this one Shakespeare troupe, going with the idea that if your passions die, you finally die. But that's kind of like your final death. And this troupe goes around to all these pockets of civilizations, performing Shakespeare and performing orchestral performances. But it's so much more than just that summary, and it blew my mind, and the prose is just phenomenal. I think I highlighted at least 1 or 2 sentences every chapter because they just stood out to me. And it's taken me way too long to get into this book. She also wrote Radio Silence, I believe, and The Glass City? One second. The Glass Motel. But I'm really looking forward to finally getting my hands on those books and reading them since I finished Station 11. I'm really hoping they're just as good because Station 11 was phenomenal. Now, question 3 is The Ghosts of Christmases Yet to Come, or a book coming out next year that you're really excited for. So again, I also talked about this in a different tag, but I'm really excited for Written in the Starlight to come out. I believe it comes out January 26th. It's part of a series, and I finished Woven in the Moonlight earlier this year, and I absolutely fell in love with it. And I've kind of been waiting for this book to come out since then. So question 4 is Bah Humbug, a book that everyone a book that everyone loves but you hate. And if I'm going to be honest with you, I'm putting The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. I was so excited to pick up this book, and especially pick it up through audio, because I heard the audiobook is absolutely phenomenal. But honestly, as I started to read the book, I had to stop, and I had to stop multiple times because the main character just frustrated me to no end and ultimately made me angry a couple of times. She just wasn't the strong female character that I thought this type of book needed and deserved. And it just killed me inside, because it sounds like a wonderful, wonderful plot. I mean, a book club slaying vampires, giving power to moms. Yes. To not just moms, to busy moms, actually. And it just killed me that this character wasn't what I was expecting going in, and just wasn't ultimately what I needed for this type of book. So definitely The Southern Book Club. So question 6 is Tiny Tim, an underhyped book that you'd think deserves more love. So I don't really know what hyped books are and what hyped books aren't, because I feel like if you get into a certain community, especially on BookTube, the same books are always talked about, but whether or not that's hyped for just your portion of BookTube or for everyone is always up for debate. It's the internet, it lies, what have you. But a book that I do want more hype in general, whether or not it's hyped online or not, is Sheets by Brianna Tumbler. Sorry about the last name pronunciation. But it is a wonderful, cute, warm-hearted graphic novel about two young kids mourning, ultimately. It has beautiful colored pictures, it has a beautiful story, and it's just, it makes you feel really good inside, and I just loved it. The second book comes out next year, so that's actually another hyped book that I'm excited about. The second one in this series, in the Sheets series, I guess. Question 7 is today, why it's Christmas Day. So what's a book that gets you in the Christmas mood? And it actually took me a while to think about this one, because I don't typically read seasonal books. Nothing really gets me in the mood. I mean, right now it's December and I'm reading a ton of apocalyptic books. If that says anything about me, make your conclusions, I guess. But I thought back to my childhood, and in particular, there was this really, really cute pop-up picture book about the night before Christmas. And it's just that poem. Night before Christmas, all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. That poem. And honestly, the reason I don't have that book is because we used to read it so much that it just fell apart and we had to give it to the garbage. But that one, I think, will always get me into the Christmas mood, or at least that poem. And I believe I found a picture of the exact book that I used to own, and I'll put it somewhere over here. It just gives me a warm heart, and it's just this cute, or it was this cute pop-up book, and yeah, it's a great poem. I mean, what kid doesn't like a great poem that rhymes? Now, question 8 is A Muppet Christmas Carol. What is your favorite film adaptation of a book? And honestly, I have a couple. I think there's some that do it very, very well. And of course, there's others that do it absolutely horribly. But ultimately, I want to share 2. I will always say that the Lord of the Rings film adaptation is absolutely phenomenal. And of course, the extended editions, all three of those movies, the extended editions. It's something that my brother and my dad and I used to watch together, and I think they really kept the Tolkien-esque vibe and what the Lord of the Rings meant in the book, but then they also adapted it quite well to the big screen, in my opinion. And I think it's a very popular opinion, actually. And my second favorite film adaptation book is actually The Princess Bride. I absolutely loved the book. It was something that I was forced to read in school to look at satire. And I think I was the only kid in my class that actually enjoyed it. But I thought it was very fun and witty and just... it was a satire. Why not? And then the film adaptation of itself is just, again, phenomenal. You have that beautiful fairy tale-esque vibe. The princess, the hero. It's what the film adaptation needed to be, in my opinion. And I'll always go back to that one. It's a great movie and a great book. I should read it again soon. Now, question 9 is to tag some friends. And honestly, I think this is either going out Christmas Day or really, really close to it. And I also don't want to assume anyone's traditions or beliefs. So I'm going to leave this tag open for anyone who wants to do it, even though it might be after Christmas. But it's fun. It's really fun. I hope everyone has a wonderful, wonderful holiday season and a magnificent new year. And here's hoping 2021 is amazing. But I will see you later and have a great, great day. Bye. I mean, hence why I love this shirt. It's from a family trip to Disneyland, I think, and it says 2015, so 5 years ago. And this is something that we've kept this whole time.